Hello everyone, this is Vernon, the Mature Patriot. I'm coming to you today via Two Busted Thumbs Productions to talk about the method of cleaning up some old tools. I've got some sockets, Allen wrenches, some other things that have been in a toolbox for a pretty good while that has been stored under a shed, and they have some surface rust on them. I'm going to use a method that we use in shooting and we're going to clean those up with a vibratory cleaner and some media that I got from Harbor Freight. Can you read that? It is some pyramidal resin media that it says removes rust from threaded fasteners without rounding edges. Green, it's 1/4 inch pyramid, green unsaturated resin, uniform finish, soft action, used with vibratory tumbler. Well, that's what we're going to use it in, is a vibratory tumbler that I have used for quite some time in my reloading. It had mixed effects until I figured out for sure just how to use it. It needs to be run for a pretty good while, and it does a very good job if you run it long enough, and if you follow up with another media such as corn cob or walnut hull. The media is very dusty the first couple of times you use it, and maybe every time you use it, but the first couple of times I've used it, it's generated quite a bit of dust inside the tumbler, so you need to be able to use this either with respiratory protection or outdoors where it can't become concentrated around you when you're emptying the tumbler. So without further ado, let's get into the videos. As you can see there, I have my box of tools and my tumbler. I put a few in there. I'm not going to overload it, and I'm going to pour this media in. The secret to cleaning anything is how many times you can get it to go to the bottom and come back up. So we're going to turn this on, see if we got enough media in there to do what we need to do, and then we'll put the cover on it. Got to plug it up. Hold on. Okay, we're back. Turn the tumbler on and see if this is going to be enough media. I don't know if this little tumbler is going to be aggressive enough for the weight that I put in it. I may have to pull some of those larger sockets back out there and run them by themselves. Yeah. We'll see how this goes. According to the clock on the wall, it's 9 o'clock. So we're going to run this for an hour and see what they look like when we get back to them. I'll bring you back in an hour. I have to apologize that when I swapped this out from the green media to my corn cob that I wasn't able to film that because the battery was dead on my camera, and it was late and I wanted to get this into the corn cob so I could get in the bed. I hope I'm not in your way there. Looking in my ear would not be a beautiful sight. But I ran the green media for an hour and a half last night, and then put the tools in the corn cob. The green media didn't work as well as I thought it would. It was just a little too large for the sockets, and it was binding up in the sockets, and not allowing it to do a good cleaning job. Now, like I say, I ran that for an hour and 45 minutes. Then I converted over to the corn cob and ran that all night. Back out here this morning, and between the both of them, it seems to have done a pretty good job. Now I had to take some of the larger sockets out, get the weight down off of it a little bit for it to be able to, the rusty Allen wrenches have cleaned up nice. I've got some cold bluing here somewhere. I can re-blue these. Hey, at least now I can read what size they are. So, overall, this seems to have accomplished what I wanted, and has done a fairly good job of cleaning up these sockets. The exterior on them is real nice. The interior is not quite what I wanted, but hey, I think if I run a Dremel brush in there, they will, or a little wire toothbrush in there, they'll be just fine. Well, guys, like I say, I apologize that you didn't get to see all of it, but bringing old tools back to life, that's something we all, my father-in-law and I had a lot of tools in his body shop. That part of this is from that I'm trying to bring them back to life, so I'll be using these in my shop. Well, as you can see, this time around, I didn't put as many sockets in there, nor did I put as much of the cleaning media, and I'm getting a better turnover ratio inside the tumbler. So this should help quite a bit with cleaning these tools. There's a Thorson socket in there that has a lot of exterior rust on it and stuff. I see it. Yeah, that's it. It's a Thorson socket with a lot of external rust on it. And internal rust. A lot of this stuff came from my father-in-law's body shop. It's been shut down for 20 years, and I'm going to try to clean them all up, get them divvied out into different toolboxes, and have one in the shop and one in my machine shop, and then one in my other shop. I'll bring you back in a couple of hours and we'll see how this one looks then. We'll pull the same one out and look at it after a couple of hours. There she goes. Like I had said before, the trick to getting things clean in a vibratory tumbler is turnover. The more times you can get them to the bottom of the tumbler and rotating back up, the cleaner they will get. Or at least that's the theory when working with brass casings for firearms. See you in a couple of hours. Well, it's been a little longer than 2 hours, so let's open this up and see what it looks like. There we go. Hope my big head's not in your way. It's a mite dusty. You can see that it's made a lot of dust in there. I'm going to have to take this outside and get a mask before I can get the rest of the tools out. But this is the 1-inch Thorson 32 or 532 socket that we looked at before we started the tumbling. I'm going to put these in some corn cob after I get them out of this and knock the rest of this stuff off the inside of them, all this dust. But looks pretty good. Looks a lot better than it did before I put it in. Once I get these all cleaned up and run through the tumbler with the corn cob and get them cleaned up, I'll come back and we'll look at it. Let's see what these look like after they've been running in the corn cob for about an hour and a half, 2 hours. Remember, these are the ones that I ran in the green pyramid media. All I'm going to do now is, all I was trying to do was get the dust off the sockets. Okay, let's see what we got here. Oh yeah, that's a 1-inch Craftsman. That's looking pretty good. Let's take a look at another one. The Thorson socket I showed you earlier is the only Thorson socket I have. That came from my father-in-law's body shop. We used to have a big mix of tools in the body shop. Yep. That's a 7/8 Craftsman. It's cleaned up quite well. Just about all the sockets I have are Craftsman sockets. I don't have any S&K. There might be an odd one here and there from S&K or Snap-on, whoever, but 99% of the sockets we have came from Craftsman. Now these little open ends that go on the end of a socket, or I mean a ratchet or a ratchet extension, they had quite a bit of surface rust on them, but they have polished up nice. That's also Craftsman. Looking for something besides just a standard socket. I know there's some. There we go. There's a spark plug wrench. spark plug socket. It's been degunked. That one doesn't even have a name brand on it. But it's cleaned up quite nice. So all in all, I'd say running the pyramidal media from Harbor Freight, a couple of hours, a little more, maybe 3, and then run it in the corn cob has done a nice job of cleaning these sockets up. Still got a little dust on them, but I'll do a chemical wash on these, clean them up, and put them in the toolbox.